everybody. This is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing my time. Doing my time. Got myself a problem.
Live from San Diego, it's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann. Hey, welcome back. That's right, we are back, boys and girls. Sports World Radio. I'm the host, Jeff Escow. We'll bring Sean Mann in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. Glad everybody could be with us today. We got a super jam-packed show for you guys. A lot to get to in a short amount of time to get to. We're going to try and get to it all. If not, don't worry. We got tomorrow to get to it, too. Lots and lots to get to. Let's get all the particulars out of the way. We'll get all that out of the way, and then we'll start rocking and rolling. SportsWorldRadio.com is the place to listen to the show. If you want to come and hang out in our chat room, excuse me, we're over at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker. That's Spreaker.com. Spreaker.com. Head on over there. Just type in Sports World Radio. You'll find us. Come in, hang out in the chat room. If you don't have an account with them, it's free. Get yourself a free account with Spreaker.com and then come in the chat room and hang out with us. 619-663-3715. That's 619-663-3715 is the number to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio. SWRshow@gmail.com. That's SWRshow@gmail.com is the email address to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio. Sports World Radio Show. Sports World Radio Show is the Skype to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio as well. Follow us over there at Twitter at twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. And while you're doing that, you might as well like our Facebook page at facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Now, if you're listening to us on SportsWorldRadio.com, there's a donate button up there. Click that donate button and donate to the cause and help us keep us doing what we like to do for you guys, which is entertain the living crap out of you. So donate to Sports World Radio and keep us doing what we like to do. With all the particulars out of the way, there's only one more thing to do, and that's bring in the co-host of Sports World Radio, that rat bastard himself, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on there, buddy?
I am doing good, Jeff. Thank you very much. It is good to be back. We are ready to rock and roll. It is Monday, February 23rd, 2015. 6:06 p.m. on the East Coast, 3:06 p.m. on the West. For you people on the East Coast being stuck with all that snow since it's actually starting to melt, come on out and listen to us. Relax, kick back, and enjoy the show. And, of course, for all you people in the Central, who really cares?
Well, that's what you get. That's what you get for living where you live. Although you want to know something, hey Laura, how you doing? Although you want to know something is we had a pretty bitchin' rainstorm yesterday. It rained like cats and dogs all night last night. and I know what we're gonna start the show with. So when we start the show and we start talking about it, I'll tell you how hard it was raining, because I was watching something last night and it was pouring down. It was
I bet.
It was hitting the freaking roof so hard I could barely hear what I was watching. That's how bad it was raining last. But right now, it's beautiful, sunny, and gorgeous. That's why I live here in sunny San Diego. Look at Laura.
Yeah,
she says
sunshiny here.
Look at Laura. She says it's freezing raining there in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Ouch.
That's what you get for living where you live.
Stay warm there, Laura.
Lots of luck with that one. All right, so what do you say we get to the first topic of the day, my friend?
All right, the first story we get to, we're going to start in the NBA. Yesterday, Phil Jackson ripped his team in the NBA after a really horrible performance against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We had a staff meeting today, Jeff, and you were kind of talking about that too, about what Phil Jackson said.
Yeah, it was what a schmuck. He's bashing the Knicks. Hey, dumbass, you're the one that put the team together. How can you bash the Knicks? You're the one who hired the head coach. You're the one who gave him the freaking teams. You're the one who traded those players away. And you're the one who Carmelo's sitting now. What do you expect from them, you dumbass?
I think if you're the Knicks, you have to realize, look, let's just try to get past this season. Let's forget about the season. Let's just forget about it. Get some good draft picks and see what you can find for free agents in the offseason.
That's what
try
he's
to
doing.
Bring basketball back to New York.
That's what he's doing. This is a throwaway year. I know that. You know that. He knows that. So what the hell? Shut the hell up.
So, yeah, he blasted the Knicks yesterday on his Twitter after the embarrassing performance.
I couldn't believe that, Sean. When I saw that and I said, what are you kidding me? You're the one that put this crap together. And you're bashing them? Get that. You know, that's...
10-45 the Knicks
That's
are.
ridiculous.
And Jeff, just like saying, gosh, I can't wait for this season to get over with.
I knew it was going to be bad. I said it was going to be bad. I said last year it was going to be bad. I knew this was going to happen. I told everybody last year when he went to the Knicks, when he signed, on our show, I said, he's going to get rid of everybody, and they're going to suck. I said they'll be lucky if they win 20 games. Did I not?
Yes, you did. You even called it before the season that this was a rebuilding year and that the Knicks were not going to be good, and you even called it and knew it was going to happen.
Who cares about this? As far as I'm concerned, this is a throwaway season for the New York Knicks. Who gives a flying fig Newton? Okay? This season should be just wiped from the records. Okay? Because next year, I know exactly what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, and he's still bashing the team. Does that make any sense?
It doesn't make any sense at all. And quite frankly, the Knicks fans were expecting that Phil Jackson would make the Knicks good, but no, they know that this was not going to be their year. So Josh goes filled with a bunch of jabronas.
a bunch of jabronis. A bunch of jabronis.
Jaffe, welcome, bud. Thanks.
Bunch of jabronis. That's how you pronounce that word, Sean. Bunch of jabronis.
Now, in other NBA news, we move to another team that's been impressive the last couple of weeks. The Cleveland Cavaliers, of course, they're the team that beat the Knicks. How about the Cavaliers? They've gone to 35-22. Jeff, I still have to tell you this, too. I still say the Cleveland Cavaliers, look, everybody's saying, oh, they're playing great. They're playing lovely. But no, the Cavaliers won't win an NBA championship. I don't see that happening. I still don't.
What are they, in fourth place now? Overall in the East? Overall in the East, they're in fourth place, correct?
And the Eastern Conference, the Cavaliers sit as the fourth seed in the Eastern Conference, tied, that's right, Josh, with the Chicago Bulls.
Well, you know what? There's a team right there. The Chicago stinking Bulls. That's a team right there that better get their asses moving. Okay? Because both of us, you and I, Sean, both of us, don't even have them making it to the finals.
That's right.
Correct? In the East. So
that's correct.
The Chicago Bulls better get their ass moving.
They better. And the Bulls better be careful the Cavs don't overtake them. And another team that needs to be concerned, Jeff, in the Eastern Conference, that's the Toronto Raptors. They're currently right now the second seed. I don't see the Cavaliers catching the Atlanta Hawks, but Toronto and Chicago better get a move on because Cleveland is trying to say, hey, we're clicking at the right time. Beware, Bulls and Raptors. Beware of us.
I know, Laura. I know you don't like basketball, but stay tuned because we got some hockey talk coming. I know we do, so stick tuned, okay? Stick with us.
In the Western Conference, you got Golden State 43-10, Memphis is 40-14, Houston 37-18. I've always said, the Western Conference
Mhm.
is much, much better than the Eastern Conference still by
Mhm.
far. Because
Yeah.
look at the Eastern Conference. You got Miami, who's the 7th seed. They would be 23-31. Playoffs started today. And Brooklyn, 22-31. Playoffs started today. Horrible.
That East sucks.
It does.
Okay? The East just sucks. That's why I kind of like Commissioner's idea of just taking the 16 best NBA teams and sticking them in the playoffs, no matter whether it's
Yep.
the East or the West. Who gives a flying fig Newton? Just get the 16 best team. You know what's going to happen, right?
Right.
All the teams in the West are going to make the playoffs. You have a
Yep.
couple, like 4 or 5 teams in the East make the playoffs, and that's it. The rest will be from the West. And I'm okay with that because the East stinks right now. I mean, the Celtics stink, the Knicks stink, the Nets stink. Okay, the Heat stink. Okay, what the hell's going on here?
Josh goes, screw the Cleveland Cavaliers. You see how doggone desperate the NBA is for having LeBron in the playoffs. The NBA bringing everybody. I agree, Josh.
I agree
well
with
said.
them. I agree with them. I'm getting a little fed up with it too. Because I don't watch Cleveland basketball no more. Because I'm
Cleveland
tired
is
of it.
desperate for a champion after all their recent heartbreak.
What, it took them half a season to figure out that they got to play defense?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is that all about? That's
Don't know.
some great coaching, ain't it, Sean?
Yeah, that is some great coaching.
Took them a half a season to figure out that they got to play defense. You know what, Blatt? That would have been my first priority, you rat bastard. What's up, Mithy? That would have been my first priority. Oh, we got to play defense. No, duh. Oh, my God.
14 minutes after the hour on this Monday, the 23rd of February, 2015. But we'll see what the NBA is like. Like I've always said, anybody
And Jackson.
but the Cavs.
And Jackson, that schmuck, bashes his own freaking team, the team that he's put together, and he's bashing it. Does that make any sense?
It doesn't make any sense at all.
No, and you're right, Josh. You got to put him as the candidate for the Rat Bastard of the Week so far. Absolutely correct. Because he put that I hate to tell you something. Everybody on that team, almost everybody on that team, was brought in by Phil Jackson. Even Carmelo Anthony. Even Carmelo. And he's not on that team. And you're going to bitch and moan and how bad they suck? Carmelo's not even. You're such a moron. You're right now. You're the number one candidate for the Rat Bastard of the Week, Phil Jackson, and I hope you're happy about that.
We will, Kathy. We'll talk some baseball, but of course, I have to say though that the Knicks, if you're Phil Jackson,
Stink.
yeah, just get through this year and then focus on the NBA draft. Try to get the lottery pick, or try to get. And then, of course,
Joy,
go
hey Sean.
after big free agents during the summer when July comes.
Sean, what do you mean try and get a lottery pick? If they're not in the top 5, I'm going to be pissed.
I know you will, since you're the big Knicks fan.
Okay? Listen, if they're tanking this bad, they should be getting the number 1 pick. Okay?
Yep.
Unstinker, and you know what's going to happen. You know exactly what's going to happen, right?
Yep.
They're going to lose the number 1 pick in the lottery because that's the way their whole year has been going.
Josh, that's what happens when you associate yourself with anything New York City, the home
I'm not.
of the whiny.
Yeah. Hey, I said at the beginning of. I said at the end of last year that they were gonna suck this year. I knew it was gonna be bad. I said they're lucky if they win 20 games. I knew going into the season it was gonna be bad. I knew it. They're not doing anything that I don't know. That I did not know that they were. The only thing I didn't know, that this schmuck was going to complain about it.
Phil Jackson, the guy
That's
that you
right.
wanted, Jeff, to turn that team around.
I didn't know he was going to complain about the team that he put together.
I didn't know either.
And if that's a way of him, motivating that group, that's an awful crappy way of doing it.
So that's the way the Knicks are going. The Cavaliers, like I said, when the playoffs begin, I'll go for one team. Anybody who knocks the Cavaliers out, Otherwise, Cleveland wins an NBA championship. Cleveland fans will be like, our misery is over with. We finally got it. I'll never hear the end of it.
Hey,
And I'm sure
Josh.
little Skippy Bayless would get every big laugh out
Oh,
of it.
screw that son of a bitch. Hey, Josh, the city, New York City, is awesome. The Knicks suck right now, but the city kicks the living crap out of Chicago. I hate to tell you that. I hate to tell you that.
Josh
Okay.
would probably beg the difference, say, what would there be to do in New York?
What
Not a
the-
whole lot to do in New York City.
What? That's the city that never sleeps, dude. You could do anything you wanted anytime during the day, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 9 o'clock, anything. Anything. You can find anything you want at any time of the freaking day. What are you, a freaking, holy, how do you say that?
Get out of here. Chicago is the most America.
Get the flock out of here, okay? New York is so nice they had to name it twice, for Christ's sakes. Unstinking believable. It's the city that never sleeps. It's the Big Apple. They had to name it twice. It's so nice. Come on. Unstinking believable. Chicago's better than New York. Get the flock out of here.
Myth is getting a laugh. LOL, Jeff.
The
So,
hell you talking about?
and now LeBron and the Cavs are all happy because now they're starting to win NBA basketball games.
Oh, yeah. Well, the rest of the East stinks. There's only four or five good teams in that division anyway.
We moved to college basketball, Jeff, which is the next big story. Thoughts and prayers go out to the Smith family. Dean Smith, who was one of the best college basketball coaches. Remember, we talked about Mike Krzyzewski back in January when he got his 1,000th career win as a college basketball coach. You got to put Dean Smith on the list of great college basketball coaches. I was sad to hear his passing.
Dean Smith kicked ass as a coach. And you know what I liked? The other day, North Carolina played their first home game since the passing of Dean Smith. And did you notice what they did in the opening of the game, Sean?
I heard about it, but I didn't know what they did.
What's the head coach's name?
Roy Williams.
Roy Williams. Thank you. It escaped me for a minute. Roy Williams put his hand up and put 4 fingers up, and they ran the 4 corners in an homage to Dean Smith at the beginning of the game. And got a backdoor pass for 2 points. How about that, Sean? If you haven't seen it, you probably can go check it out on YouTube. At the beginning of the game, they won the tip. He put his hand up, put 4 fingers up. They ran 4 corners. There was a backdoor play. Boom. It happened really quick, but they did an homage to Dean Smith. That was a big passing. I didn't know about that. You know who else passed away, my friend?
Who was that?
Jerry Tarkanian.
That's right.
Jerry Tarkanian, the towel eater.
Two great
coaches, correct?
Mm-hmm.
2 great basketball coaches. Totally different styles, but 2 great basketball coaches, correct?
Correct.
I was shocked to hear about him. Wasn't there somebody else? Who else?
Not sure.
Oh, also, the NBA player who played for Portland, Jerome Kearse?
Yeah.
Is that the correct name? I don't want to get it wrong. Is that the correct name?
I think so. Jerome Kersey, is that what his
Jerome
name is?
Kersey. Jerome Kersey, I think it is.
Yeah.
He used to play for the Portland Trailblazers. I don't want to get it wrong. So, yeah, I think that's who it is. But, yeah, a lot of passing away in the sports biz, huh?
Yeah, going back to Dean Smith, though, real quickly. Some people wore their Sunday suits, but most people dressed for a game day. It felt like a game day. The line was hundreds deep 2 hours early outside the Dean Smith Center. They wore countless variations on Carolina blue. The one guy had a Michael Jordan jersey, not a UNC jersey. And, of course, everybody knows that Dean Smith, of course, took the North Carolina Tar Heels to the national championship, which was against I believe it was against Patrick Ewing and the Georgetown Hoyas when John Thompson was there back in the 80s. Back
Right.
when he was the college coach, 1982 actually.
Right.
That was when Jordan and the North Carolina Tar Heels beat Georgetown in the national championship. And Jeff, I know you're the big college basketball fan. I'm sure you remember that one very well.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, Josh, you're good point. Rest in peace to Dean Smith. North Carolina lost two major people this year, Dean and Stewart. Yeah, we've lost some really big names for the sports world, and rest in peace to all those that made big contributions in college or in the pros that leave the world peacefully.
Yes. I was kind of shocked to see Jerry go. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that, how bad he was. So that was a shocker. And so was Dean Smith, really, to tell you the truth.
He had a good life, Dean Smith did.
Yeah.
He came to North Carolina, I believe it was 1962. He came in the early 60s, and he was a great college basketball coach, and he turned that program around. And George, of course, I think about when Duke and North Carolina played the great rivalry. They played a really good game on, I believe it was Saturday. Duke won the game in overtime. They're ranked number 4, Duke is, and North Carolina's number 15. And I was like thinking Dean Smith was a part of some of those big matchups too.
Yes, he was. Jerry Tarkanian, man, he was a hell of a basketball coach for UNLV when he was there. That team that he had with Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon and all those guys, that was a hell of a team right there. You know?
Hello, Shaba.
Yeah, that's Laura's boyfriend.
Good to have you there, bud. Thanks. He was. Shaba goes, Dean Smith was the best college coach of my life. I agree with you there, buddy. Good point.
Yeah, he's up there in the top 5 for sure in my lifetime. He's up there in the top 5 for sure in my lifetime. Definitely. Hey, what's the deal with Kevin Garnett, who wants to use his $320 million to buy the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Kevin Garnett, KG, I can see that happening.
How crazy is that? He wants to be the owner of the Timberwolves. That'd be pretty funny.
Started his career in Minnesota, got traded.
Now he's back there.
Won an NBA title, went to Brooklyn. Now he's back in, like you said, in Minnesota.
Now he's back in Minnesota. How bad is that?
That's crazy.
Obviously, he's not playing for a championship no more. He's playing for money now. That's obvious.
And trying to turn the Timberwolves around like Kevin McHale did when he used to be there. Now he's wanting to own the team for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Right.
Timberwolves have a lot of work to do anyway.
Correct. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Okay, we got about 5 more minutes before our first break. Where do you want to go next?
Let's see. In the NFL, we go to that news. Of course, I don't know if anybody's watched the NFL Combine. What's everybody's thoughts about that, Jeff, about the NFL Combine?
I put that on and I fell asleep.
Fell asleep.
It's boring,
that's pretty
man.
much the news going on. Here's the big story. Adrian Peterson, agent confronts the Vikings VP. Adrian Peterson's agent told a Vikings official that the star running back will never again play for Minnesota during a heated exchange last week at the NFL Scouting Combine, sources confirmed to ESPN. So there's a divorce that's going on between Adrian Peterson and the Vikings.
And where's he going to end up? Come on, say it.
Dallas.
And who said it before it even happened?
You did.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You know when I said it, correct? 3-4 months ago. You know why I said it? Because those two schmucks had a meeting.
Because here's another reason. Jerry Jones has always worked with the people that have gotten themselves in trouble.
So that means he's got to get – so anybody who gets in trouble is going to go to Dallas. That team, you know. So why is Tony there and all those and Murray there and all those other guys? Why is whatchamacallit there? Who's Tony Romo's favorite Witten?
Des Bryant?
No, Witten. Witten. Why is Witten there? He doesn't get in any trouble at all. All right, he's Mr. Goody Two Shoes, ain't he? He don't get no trouble. Why is he on that team? Right? And for all you Dallas fans, here, you're gonna hear this a lot. Ha 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 ha. I'm just getting you ready. Just getting you ready for next season, because that's what you're gonna be hearing. Ha 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 ha.
The Vikings should just the day that Adrian Peterson gets reinstated back in the NFL.
He's going to be playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
April 15th. And, yeah, he would be going back to.
How sad is that? How sad is that I could say something 3 months before it happens and it actually happens? How sad is that? How sad is that I could say something a year before it happens and then it happens?
True, yes.
How sad is that? Where all these people on TV, you see all these people on TV, none of them are as smart as I am because I say things 3-4 months in advance, 12 months in advance, and guess what? It happens. Schmucks.
Will it hurt the Vikings down the road? It could hurt them because they lose their big running back, and then they figure out who can be the running back that can run the football for that team.
Hell yeah. They got no quarterback anyway. What's the difference? They got no quarterback. They got no. That team is that. You know what? That team is in more freaking disarray than the San Francisco 49ers.
The Vikings haven't been the same since Shaba said, I was in the Superdome to see Peterson's fumble the 2009 NFC title game away. I agree with you.
Oh, look, here she goes again. Did you bring in all your Boston friends back with you?
Probably. I do post the show, so if they want to come out, they're more than welcome to.
Great.
I don't want to be biased. I'm trying to expand here a little bit. Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me. I got to stop myself from choking on my tongue. I don't want to be biased here. Hold on, I got to stop choking myself here. That's freaking hysterical. Bring all your bring the Bostonites around here. I don't give a flying fig Newton. Bring those rat bastards.
So here's the thing, though, about the Vikings, though. You're right. They're the team that's like the 49ers. They've got so much trouble. They don't have a quarterback. They're going to likely now lose Adrian Peterson, who I believe will go to Dallas. Then you wonder what's going to happen with DeMarco Murray. He had a big year for Dallas last year, and then he will find another team because the Cowboys, once they get Peterson, they won't be able to bring Murray back. Then you're wondering, where does DeMarco Murray go?
I know, and then you know what's going to happen?
What?
Adrian Peterson is going to get hit. He's going to get hurt. And that's going to be the end of that, and they're going to wish they still had DeMarco Murray, and I'm going to laugh. I'm just telling you now before the season happens. Okay? Before it happens. I'm just telling you right now. Because I call that stupid crap all the time, and Sean knows it. I'm telling you right now. Mark the date down. February 23rd at 3:30 in the afternoon Pacific Coast time. Okay? When Adrian Peterson goes to Dallas and they get rid of DeMarco Murray and Adrian Peterson gets hurt and can't play for the rest of the season, they're going to wish that they still had DeMarco Murray. I'm just saying.
And on that note, 30 minutes after the hour, we have to run to our first commercial break.
You're listening to Jeff Escow and Showman on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. Hey, Sean, if they live in the Central.
If you happen to live in the Central, figure that out for yourself. On commercial break, here it is 32 minutes after the hour. I was talking with Jeff about this. We talked about the Cowboys. I mentioned in the chat room, remember, Jason Garrett signed a 5-year contract with the Dallas Cowboys.
Big freaking deal. How much you want to bet me he don't make it through those 5 years?
I won't bet. I believe you. I don't think he will make it because then
5-year
he gets
contract.
let go.
Who cares?
Wow.
5-year contract. Who gives a flying fig Newton?
Probably Jerry Jones is thinking, I believe that I've got my future coach right there in Garrett. He's probably thinking that.
Hey, Sean, Cuban infield prospect Yoan Moncada agrees to terms with the Red Sox. Agreement is pending a physical and is in the $30 million range.
He's a young 19-year-old, and I heard about that today, so I'm pretty happy about it. See what he does, and I think now with that move, then they got the moves to go out and trade maybe a couple prospects to bring in Cole Hamels. We'll see. They need some starting pitching. They do. In order to make the season good, they got to have some good starting pitching. That's the key to winning it.
Okay, and with baseball season starting up, everybody's starting to report. Pitchers and catchers have been there for a while. The rest of the teams are starting to report. How about the Padres this season, picking up all those prospects and all those players that they picked up this year, huh?
I think San Diego is going to be a team that's going to make some real big noise. And I know if Beaver was here, Beaver would be saying, I'm thrilled for the baseball season. I could see him saying that right now.
He'd be going bananas, man.
I think San Diego is going to be the team that probably has a very, very good chance to be really tough in the National League West. I think they're probably saying, we're tired of the fact that we have to deal with all this losing and finishing behind the Dodgers and the Giants. You know, it's like always being in fourth or in last place.
He'd be going bananas right now, man. He'd be bugging me to go to games left and right. Left and right. He'd be bugging the heck out of me to go to games. They should have a pretty good season. And the last piece of the puzzle was getting, whatchamacallit. Right?
Signing James Shields to a 4-year contract.
Yeah, signing James Shields to a 4-year contract. Now, you know as well as I do. You know as well as I do. If they stink, he ain't going to be there. They'll trade his ass. You know that as well as I do.
It would be temporary, and then they'd bring him back.
Just, I don't understand why these people sign 5-year contracts, 4-year contracts. Contract don't mean crap, because you know what's going to happen if you stink, coaches or players? You're either going to get traded or you're going to get fired. Jason Garrett signs a 5-year contract. Who cares? He don't make the playoffs. He don't make the playoffs the upcoming year and the year after that. You can guarantee he ain't making it through his 5-year contract. So a 5-year contract don't mean crap.
As long as Jerry Jones is there, and if Jerry Jones isn't seeing the progress and seeing the Cowboys turn things around, you bet that
and I'm telling you right
Jason
now,
Garrett will be gone after 2 years.
And I'm telling you right now, what's his face? All the new head coaches out there?
Yep.
That signed 5-year contracts?
Yep.
You don't do anything? You ain't making it through your 5-year contracts neither.
Sometimes, it's just temporary. You sign these big, gigantic deals. Oh, this coach has signed a 4 or 5-year deal, and then, boom, they don't do very well, and then bye-bye.
I'll tell you something. I believe the only coach that's going to make through his contract is Jim Harbaugh over in Michigan. He's going to be the only one that's going to make it through his contract. All these other NFL coaches, what have you done for me lately? I'm telling you.
Shalpa goes in a Las Vegas men's room with Jason Garrett crying.
I'm telling you, man. 5-year contracts don't mean crap. Because you can get fired or traded in the middle of it. So
it's
what
all
the hell?
about the W's and the L's.
Right.
It's all about making sure that owners say,
So why-
okay, I gave you a 5-year deal. Let's see the wins and let's see playoff success.
Why sign a 5-year contract if you can fire me in 3 years, or if you can fire me in 2 years, or if you can fire me in 4 years? Why? Just give me a year-by-year contract. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And the same thing with players. The same thing with players, correct?
Yep.
I don't get it.
Josh goes, and Skippy and Jerry Jones secret vacation in Space Mountain.
I'm telling you right now, I don't give a flying fig Newton that Jason Garrett signed a 5-year contract. They don't make the playoffs in the next 2 years, he ain't going to make it through year 3.
And remember, it's been 20 years. When the season starts, it's
telling
been
you.
20 years since the Dallas Cowboys' last Super Bowl championship.
I'm
And Jerry
telling you.
Jones saying every year it's going to be a great year for the Cowboys. Cowboys are back. We're going to do it all.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. I got to listen to that crap again for another year. Blah, 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 blah.
Remember last year, Jeff, back in July of last year, Jerry Jones had mailed the Cowboy fans playoff tickets for the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Oh, I flipped on the floor. I was laughing really.
Yeah.
I just rolled on the floor.
Ridiculous, man. He just can't keep his mouth shut, can he?
And Jeff, you just sit there and you laugh. You're like, oh, this is hysterical.
I'd like to crack him in his head sometimes. I really would, man. I really, really would.
How about seeing an Escal versus a Bayless debate or an Escal versus the Jerry Jones debate?
I go against both of them. I don't give a flying fig Newton. I'll take them both on.
Anytime, any place.
I'll take them both on right in Dallas Cowboys Stadium, too. I don't care. Give them both the home court advantage. I'll come in there and whip their ass. I got a lot of frustration built up. Come on, bitches. Bring it.
Skippy will crown their expletive
Crack
like
him in his
usual,
head.
Shabba.
Crack him in his head.
Yeah, so
You know?
we'll see what happens. Yeah, like I said, it was a 5-year deal because remember, even last year when they played their first game against San Francisco, hey, Browning, good to see you, bud. Last year, there was a lot of talk about how Jason Garrett, before the season began, was under fire, and that they were saying that, oh, he's supposed to do really, really well, and if he doesn't, then he's going to get canned. And the Cowboys really actually not only made the playoffs, but they fought for Jason Garrett's job, and he finally won his only first playoff game as a head coach, and Romo finally got his second playoff win.
Woohoo! Lucky ass.
All because the Lions had them beat. And Jeff, you remember saying
man, it pissed me off.
about how they picked up the flag and no pass interference.
Yeah, what the hell was that all about? Look at Shaba. He's waiting for the steel cage match between me and freaking Skip Bayless. The fans demand it, man. I say if you fans want to see it, you guys are gonna have to go on Skip Baylor's Twitter account and send him a direct message saying, you said that you'll take on any sports broadcaster host. Well, this guy he accepts your challenge. He talks about you every day in the show that he can eat you up. Take the challenge. You guys got to go direct message to this prick. I'll take him out.
Heck in a cell, Josh says. Laura goes, LOL. No one can escape.
You guys got to get to him because obviously he's not listening to me no more.
MLB, next story. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred has been open to considering making changes to help make the sport more marketable. There has been a report by him that MLB may reduce the number of games to a shorter season, which would go from 162 games maybe to 154 games total. What would you all think about that idea?
Stop screwing around with the crap. I'll tell you what, leave the games the way they are, as many as they are. Speed the freaking games that you have up. How about that? Instead of making the games 3 hours, 4 hours long, why don't you cut it down to 2.5 hours? Put a freaking time limit on the game. Oh, it's 2.5 hours. Who's ever ahead, if you don't finish, that's the winner. How about that? You want to change the game? That'll change the freaking game, won't it?
I disagree with it. Just keep it the way it is. But I say one thing the MLB needs to do, if he's going to be commissioner, why don't you just get rid of the extra one-game playoff, which has been a joke from day one? Frank, I know, disagrees and says that it's the best thing for baseball.
Hey, Browning, I thought it was pretty good last night. I knew you were going to ask that question. When I saw you in the room, I was going to say, watch this. First question Browning is going to ask me is what I think of Fastlane last night. I knew it. I should have bet $1 million on it. I would have won.
That's right, Kathy. I agree with you. I'm not happy with that. Right. Leave the games
Leave the
alone.
games
Leave them
alone.
the way they are.
Put a 2.5-hour time limit on from the first pitch. From the first pitch, you got 2.5 hours to finish this game. Who's ever winning at the end of 2.5 hours, whether you're in the 6th inning, whether you're in the 4th inning, whether you're in the 8th inning, or whatever it is the winner of the game, period.
Supersonic Radio, welcome. Yeah, so that's what Rob Manfred is thinking about doing. Manfred said discussion of season length is not at the top of his mind, adding that insiders he talks to don't think having a season of 162 games is something that needs to be dealt with anytime soon. Manfred said concerns over the pace of the games are taking the priority. Last week, Major League Baseball implemented new rules for the upcoming season that seek to reduce the average time of a game, like you were talking about, Jeff, which clocked in at 3 hours, 2 minutes in 2014.
Yeah, so they clocked in just a little over 3 hours long games, correct?
Yep.
That's
Correct.
a little too long. That's
Yeah.
a little too long to watch a freaking baseball game, for Christ's sakes. Okay? Put a freaking not a pitch count clock. Okay, not a pitch timer, a game clock. 2.5 hours from the first pitch. That's how long you got. You want to see how fast these guys will speed up in between innings? Because they want to get the game in, and the fans will know the game's going to be 2.5 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
So a 7:05 game, okay, now over at 9:30 at night. That's kind of good because you got kids who can go home and still get sleep and get up for school the next day. Don't you think that would work, Manford?
Yep.
Huh,
I hope
Manford?
so, and I hope he makes better decisions than what Bud Selig did when he made some bad decisions with Major League Baseball.
And let me ask you a question, Sean.
Yeah.
Because growing up, it was different for me. I don't know what it was like for you, but growing up, what happened to the doubleheader?
You mean Wednesday Night Baseball?
No. What happened to teams playing doubleheaders? They don't do that no more, do they?
They don't. No, not as much as they used to when I was growing up.
When I was growing up, forget about it. I loved the doubleheader. Are you kidding me? 8 hours of baseball? Are you kidding me? Because growing up, doubleheaders, they show both games. So you got 8 hours of baseball? What are you, 8 hours to play 2 games? What are you kidding me? Shut up, Charles Barkley. What are you kidding me?
I don't see it as much as I used to at the doubleheaders, and that's like really confusing.
I missed the doubleheaders. The twilight. Remember the twilight doubleheaders, dude? Right? They start one game right at dusk, right? Or they play the first game early and the second game starts right. You know what I mean? I missed that, man. What happened to that?
I don't know.
Stick it, Barkley.
Charles Barkley, you are so Josh. Don't give me that.
Stick it, Barkley, right where the sun don't shine.
And on that note, first update of the day.
Wow, ready. Let's go to Sean Mann with the first update. His update is brought to you by The Flipper. Now listen, boys and girls. Do your kids, or let me rephrase this. Do your boys in your family, when they go to the bathroom, do they leave the toilet seat up? Does your husband leave that toilet seat up and you almost fall in the middle of the night? Oh, my God. And then you got to touch the seat to put it down? Well, no more. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your flipper today. It attaches to the underside of your toilet seat. It's a little handle that attaches to the underside of your toilet seat, and you never, ever have to touch your toilet seat ever again. It's called the Flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Go check it out. That's what this update is brought to you by. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 47 minutes after the hour. It is Monday, February 23rd, 2015. And the NBA, here are the games that we have for tonight. The Philadelphia 76ers at the Miami Heat. The Milwaukee Bucks at the Chicago Bulls. Minnesota Timberwolves at the Houston Rockets. Toronto Raptors at the New Orleans Pelicans. Brooklyn Nets at the Denver Nuggets. The Boston Celtics taking on the Phoenix Suns. San Antonio Spurs at the Utah Jazz, and the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. In the NHL, as you all know, yesterday, it is hard to believe, to imagine this too. Yesterday marked the 35th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice games, when the United States upset the Russians 4-3. And Laura and everybody who are big hockey fans like me, and also Ron Gallo, we can talk about that too, and how much of a moment that made for sports and the impact and how great it was. And of course, there were other games that we have for tonight. Yeah, the Arizona Coyotes taking on the New Jersey Devils, and the Detroit Red Wings taking on the Anaheim Ducks. In the NFL, here's the news that we got coming from Adrian Peterson. He has decided he will not, ladies and gentlemen, come back and play for the Minnesota Vikings. Adrian Peterson is expected to be reinstated into the NFL on April 15th. He will be looking at new destinations, new teams to go for, as will Ray Rice, no indication. Another big story that's making headlines in the NFL, news yet with Peyton Manning. He hasn't officially confirmed if he wants to come back into the NFL. Reports are from the Denver Broncos and from John Elway is that they're hopeful. He has until March 9th to make the decision if he wants to come back and play as the Denver Broncos quarterback. This update is brought to you by The Flipper at flipperflipper.com. When we come back, more sports talk with Jeff Escow and Sean Mann right after this commercial break.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday, right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Hey Barkley, how much is Sports World Radio? You can't afford it. You. Everybody else can, but you can't afford it. Not even if you were to give me $10 million for Sports World Radio would I give it to you. You can't afford it.
Oh, not tasting music, knucklehead.
Hey, I got an idea, Barkley. If this is really you, and don't say because of my agent, I got to check with my agent. Only pussies do that. Call in 619-663-3715. Look, Charles, I'll slow it down because I know your brain can't move that fast. 619. This way to give you time to write it down. 663-3715. 1-5. Is that slow enough for you, Barkley?
Charles goes, "You're terrible, Mr. Sports World Radio. I would have ratings up the ass."
Okay, bring it. Then come on the show and show me. Prove it to me. That's all I'm asking. Just call in and prove it to me. That's all I ask. Let's prove
All right,
it.
the other news, the next story I get to before I get these Skippy quotes
You
soon.
mentioned in your update about the 35-year anniversary of the Miracle on Ice, correct?
Yes, yesterday on February 22nd, 1980, it was 35 years ago yesterday that the United States men's hockey team defeated Russia 4-3 in an upset that, Jeff, you will not forget because you were alive back then. Laura, I'm sure you remember exactly where you were when that moment in sports history happened. It was a big moment and a big upset. I watched, and I hope you all did, 30 for 30 documentary, and it was amazing.
Where were you back
yesterday
then?
to hear the Russians' perspective on this.
Where were you back then?
I was not alive back on that time. I was born in 1987.
You weren't alive?
No, but I've studied it about the impact when the United States beat the Russians because the Russians were really tough when it came to the Olympic hockey.
You weren't alive?
Laura wasn't born yet.
Laura, oh my God, you people make me feel old.
Well, Jeff, you were almost going on 14 years of age. I'm sure you remember watching that on TV.
Hold on a second. Our producer's calling in. I'm sure he's got some fun stuff to say. What's up there, Josh?
What up, Knucklehead?
What's up with you there, Joshy?
Not much. How you doing?
Josh, you weren't alive either when the 1980 Olympic hockey team won the gold medal, were you?
No, I wasn't actually.
God.
I don't even think I was considered to be born yet.
Oh, my Lord.
Another 6
John,
years.
look at Andrew wasn't born either. Okay. I am giving everybody a homework assignment. Everybody must have a homework assignment. Exactly. Exactly, Shabbat. Exactly. The Miracle on Ice happened a month before Laura was born. He was 4. Okay, this is what I want. I'm giving everybody a homework assignment, okay? And you want to know something? I'm going to make it really easy for everybody. I'm going to make it so easy for everybody, it's going to be so ridiculous, okay? I found a place to watch the movie online for free. Okay? And you want to know something? Here's how easy it's going to be for all you rat bastards. Guess what? There's the movie. Right there. I put the link in the chat room. Click that link, copy it, favorite, save it. Everybody's homework assignment. You must watch that movie. We got Hockey Guru coming on Wednesday. Ron Gallo. I want everybody to watch that before he comes on.
I'll have to find a spot to save that link. I'll have to check that out.
That is
Josh, have you seen the movie Miracle?
Have you seen it, Josh? Oh, he hung up.
He hung up. Okay.
That is.
Oh, Josh goes, give it. I mean, it was me, Jeff. It was me all along. Jeff, it's the Encyclopedia Man.
I know who it is.
Highlight it, Kathy. Highlight the link, and then copy it.
Just click
and then
right on it.
paste it.
Just click right on it. It'll take you right to the link, and then just put it in your favorites somewhere. That
that's
is
how you do
an
it.
awesome movie. 35 years ago yesterday. Do you know they were all there for the first time together since it happened?
That's right. The only one that was missing, of course, was the late, great Herb Brooks,
Nope.
who was the coach of the USA men's hockey team, and rest in peace.
I
He
would-
he died in a tragic automobile accident. This was
Correct.
in Minnesota.
But you know who? There was one other person missing. There was one player missing, and that was Bob Suter. He passed away in September of a heart attack at the age of 50. All the other players that were alive were there.
Jeff, for reals, I was going to ask you, you were alive back then, almost going on 14. What was your memories
awesome.
of it? What was your first thoughts when you saw that the USA men's upset the Russians? Because it's amazing how tough the Russians really were.
Okay, at the beginning of the movie, and the beginning of the movie is very important to watch. So if you're going to watch this movie, as soon as you start this movie, boom, this movie starts, and it's very important to listen and watch what's going on because it's right. We got to remember, this is 1979. This is 1970. This movie starts in 1979. Okay? When gas was rationed. You got to remember, the United States went through gas rationing in the 79 and 80. Okay? If you had an even license plate, you can get gas on this day. If you had an odd license plate number, you get gas on this days. Okay? And they put that in the movie. Okay? You have to. Jimmy Carter's there. Nixon's there. Remember, it's 1979, 1980. Okay? It's very, very important to watch that and listen to that because it frames the whole entire movie. I watched it last night again. I started the movie at, it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes the movie is. I started it at like a little bit past midnight, and I didn't finish watching it until 3 o'clock in the morning because I had some things I was doing, and I had to stop it a couple times. And how about that? Freaking awesome. And Kurt Russell plays Herb Brooks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Freaking awesome. I know Sean is a hockey guy. You're gonna love this movie, Sean. And you weren't alive back then. You're gonna hear things and see things. You're gonna be like, oh my God, that's what it was like back then. Yes, that's what it was like back then. Laura, you weren't alive back then. You're gonna be, wow, it's cool ass. And you wanna know something? Yes, it's a sports movie, but it's a political. It's got a political thing to it, and I can guarantee something, Laura. If you sat down and watched that with your mom and dad, they would be like, yeah, I remember those times. Yeah, I remember that. So that might be cool for you to do, watch it with mom and dad, even though it is a sports movie. Yep. Yeah, and it's not just a sports movie. It's about how Herb Brooks molded that particular team to beat that particular Russian team. That's what the movie's really about, and it's from Herb Brooks' point of view. Now, Sean, you said you saw the one with Carl Malden in it, right?
That's right.
I saw that one too.
That came out in 1981.
Correct. That came out a couple of years after that. That came out a year after it actually happened. And Carl Malden played Herb Brooks. This one goes into even deeper stuff than that one didn't even get into. And the camera views for the hockey game, for the games themselves, are awesome.
On that note, we got to run to commercial break. We're going to talk more about this 35th anniversary right after this break.
You're listening to Jeff Escow and Showman on
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann. Boy, you should have heard the conversation we were having in the background. That show just kept on going between me and Sean. We were going and going like bunny rabbits, man. We couldn't stop talking. We were talking about the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey, talking about all that. I find it kind of weird that 90% of my audience wasn't alive back then. I feel like an old
Jeff,
man.
And I was asking you though too. You were almost going on 14. You probably remember watching that on TV.
I do. I was with
when you were growing up in New York.
I was with my friends. I actually was in a cabin, snowed in, about an hour away from Lake Placid.
Wow, that's incredible.
I was an hour away from Lake Placid, snowed in a cabin. We couldn't get out. And me and my buddies were all snowed in. We watched all the Olympic hockey games right there. Right there in the cabin. It was freaking awesome.
And it was a moment in time, as we continue on with more of this discussion, Jeff and I had during commercial break, ladies and gentlemen listening in, as we continue to talk about this, you talk about the impact it had on this country. It came at a very tense time with the United States and the Soviet Union. We were in the height of the Cold War. It was not, times were not really easy. And yesterday, I hope all of you watched this. Jeff said for a bunch of times he watched something called 30 for 30. Yesterday, I finally watched it. I took a break from my college studies, and I watched the Russians' point of view. And that was quite interesting to hear their point of view about how they lost and what it meant to them. They were still pretty upset about how that all happened to them, how they were standing on one end, and the United States is jumping up and celebrating and loving every minute of the fact that they upset the Russians 4-3.
How awesome was that to see that 30 for 30 that they did all from the Russian perspective? All from the whole 2 hours was all from the Russian perspective. It was awesome. I've seen it 3 or 4 times already. It's freaking awesome. If you haven't seen it, check that out too as well. ESPN does a great job with that. I might even watch. Oh, it's Monday night. I won't. Well, maybe I will after. There's usually between 1 and 3 that I don't have anything to watch. So maybe I'll watch Miracle again tonight.
Just a great time it was in sports history because we needed that. We needed a spark, and the United States did that. And it was amazing to study in the 30 for 30 documentary just how really tough the Russians were. They were tough to beat. They were really, really tough. And for the United States to do that in our country, in Lake Placid, pretty cool. Pretty cool and pretty special, in a moment that people who were alive back then, like you, Jeff, and my parents were alive. They remember watching it on television. It was pretty spectacular.
It puts me right back. I'm telling you, every time I watch it, it puts me right back into 1979, 1980. And when they show the scenes, I'm like, yep, I remember that. Yep, I remember. And I remember I was living in New York. I only lived, I lived probably about 3.5, 4 hours away from Lake Placid. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I was on vacation up in the mountains towards Lake Placid. I was only an hour away from Lake Placid. My buddy owned a ski resort an hour away from Lake Placid. So we went up to his resort and we got the cabin, the manager's cabin, and we stayed in the manager's cabin for several days because we got nailed with snow. They got a serious snowstorm right before Lake Placid, right before the Olympics. And we got snowed in because everybody was helping out at Lake Placid, clearing the roads and getting everything all set. They forgot, nobody knew we were there.
Sure, Jeff, and in the documentary, they mentioned that New York had gotten pounded with a big snowstorm
Pounded.
in January or February of
Yeah.
1980. And Shabbat goes, Miracle on Ice was big at the time due to everything going on in the world.
Yes.
Plus, boycotted the Summer Olympics of, I believe that was of 1980.
Correct. The Russians were going to boycott. I mean, Americans were going to boycott if the Russians boycotted. So the Russians came. So the Americans. So it was a whole big political thing all tied in with this hockey story. It's freaking unbelievable. It's just an awesome movie and a period piece movie. And you're going to see the clothes. Holy freaking Toledo. The clothes that Herb Brooks wears is just ridiculous. Just freaking ridiculous, man.
And those words that gives anybody's goosebumps when Al Michaels comes out and says, "Do you believe in miracles?" Yes. And then you got all the USA
That son of a bitch.
men's hockey players coming out and celebrating, and then you had the chance of USA.
That son of a bitch was so young he had curly hair back then.
I saw the pictures on the 30 for 30 documentary.
Unbelievable. And that 30 for 30 documentary from the Russians' point of view, if you guys haven't seen that, you could probably find that on ESPN as well. It's freaking awesome. Just awesome. I was shocked when I watched. And it's kind of weird because you have to read the subtitles because these guys are speaking in Russian. So you don't know what they're saying, so they put the subtitles up. So you got to read the subtitles, right, Sean?
Subtitles, and there's plenty of Russian accent, and you have to look real closely about how their expressions are and how they feel. It was a great documentary. I hope everybody, Laura and Josh, when you guys get the opportunity to on ESPN, watch that thing.
And you have to watch it a couple of times because the first time you watch it, you're reading what they're saying. The second time you're watching, you're not reading so much what they're saying. Now you're looking at their face to see their expressions. Because you can't do both the first time. You just got to read what they're saying. You can't look and read at the same time. So, so that's why I've watched it a couple of times. I watched it differently. The first time I read everything. The second time I read some and looked some. The third time I just looked and didn't read anything. The fourth time I just enjoyed it. You know what I mean? So you got to get the whole aspect of it, I had to watch it a couple of times. But it's ESPN, they did a great job on that. Just an awesome job on that 30 for 30 with the Russians. Excellent. You're going to have to check that out. You got to watch the movie on the Miracle. I put the link in the room for everybody to watch the movie. You got to go check it out. Awesome stuff right there, right?
Yeah, and Shabba goes, I definitely have to catch this new documentary on the Miracle. I rarely miss 30 for 30. Oh, you'll like it,
you'll
Shabba.
love it.
You will, and you'll learn about how the Russians speak, their point of view, about how they felt. It was just amazing. ESPN took the time to interview these Russian players.
Right, it's all about the Russian
their shock
team.
And sadness.
It's all about the Russian team. It's has nothing to do with the American team at all. It's all about the Russian team. It's freaking cool. And you can see in their faces that they're still disappointed to this day. And and you can see that they're kind of angry that they got to do this. Talk about it 30 years later. You can see it. You can definitely see it. So you have to go watch it. And if you haven't seen the movie, see what you do is you go watch the movie first, and then you go watch the 30 for 30. So like on a Sunday, you got 4 or 5 hours to kill. You watch the movie, and then you watch the 30 for 30, and you'll be like, wow, that's really cool. Really cool.
Yep.
And that meeting yesterday that they had, first time in 35 years, they've all been back together, everybody. That was pretty freaking awesome.
USA men's, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty freaking awesome. Okay, so before we go ahead. What were you going to say?
For them to do that, and for them to get together and talk about their memories and their thoughts, and seeing them reunite was great. It's just, I know Herb Brooks would be proud had he been there and had he not died from that automobile accident. It would have been so cool to see him there too. But he's proud. He's looking down, saying, "Proud of you, boys. We did something that nobody expected us to do. We upset the Russians."
There's a line, Sean. There's a line in the movie that he actually said, and there's a line in the movie right before they go play the Russians. Him and his wife, Patty, or sitting on the bench in Lake Placid, around an ice skating rink, just drinking some hot chocolate and having a conversation, okay? And he says, I received an email, not an email, I'm sorry, because back then there was no internet. I received a letter from a fan saying, beat those commie bastards, okay? And the line that he says, he's talking to his wife, and his wife says something to him, and he says, all I want those boys to know is that for 20 years from now, they gave it all they can. They did their best shot. They gave it their best. 20 years, that's the line. 20 years from now, all I want the boys to know is that 20 years from now, they gave it their best. They did all they could do. Something like that, And every time he says that line in the movie, I say out loud, I don't know why, but I guess it's a reflex. I say, they know, Herb. Because they do. 35 years later, we're still talking about it. Not only do they know, but all of United States and people who weren't born or alive back then know about it. Don't they, Sean?
Know about it and like to hear the stories from people that remember watching it on their television sets or, of course, listening on their radio. And what you said, Shaba, a very, very tense time.
It was. It was. And that's all in the movie, which is really, really cool. It's funny. It's 1979, 1980. So all the cars back then are from 79 and 80. All the clothes back then, 79 and 80. Everything back then is from 1979, 1980. The buildings, the airplanes, the buses, everything. It has the whole 1979, 1980 look. It's pretty freaking awesome. You got to see that movie. And that line is perfect. He says, I hope from 20 years from now that these boys know that they gave it everything that they got. And they
the one I
Herb.
like that I'm going to hope that I've seen brief previews of when I watch the movie Miracle, since you gave us that assignment, is I like how Herb Brooks, when Kurt Russell comes in there and he goes, I'm so sick and tired, quote, I'm so sick and tired of losing to the Russians. Their time is over. Go out there and do it.
Right.
And they did.
That's right. That's at the end of the speech, right before the big game.
Yep. I can't wait to check this movie out. I'll be ready to watch it.
The freaking kick butt movie, and it takes you step by step by step right through the whole thing. And I watched the movie, and now I say, now when I watch the movie, I look at the movie differently. I say, okay, because I know what happened and what didn't happen. So I say, okay, this part right here was made just for the movie. Okay, this part right here was just made for the movie. Okay, this part right here was just made for the movie. Okay, this part right here was just made for the movie. Because I know what happens because I've done so much research on it. I know what actually happened, and I could tell what part happened for the movie and what parts didn't happen, and what parts they made just for the movie, which didn't really happen. Yep. It's pretty freaking cool. Hey, and on that note, we're going to run to a quick commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow new way to workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. See, they do that in London, dude. You know that, right? They start off really high, and then they go down low like that. 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West, and if you live in the Central?
Figure that out for yourself.
So I got to start getting you to do that. You got to do like, figure it out for yourself. You know?
The next thing, Jeff, on commercial break, you said you had something you were asking somebody.
Oh yeah, I want to ask you. I want to ask all you rat bastards hanging out with us today in the chat room and listening to us wherever the hell you're listening to us at. 2 things happened yesterday. They happened simultaneously yesterday, and I wanted to see how many people watched this and how many people watched that. Okay, so yesterday, right around 5 o'clock, WWE pay-per-view Fastlane started. Yesterday, right about 5:30. Now, these are my times. You people have to add 3 hours onto everything I'm saying. Right, Sean?
Right.
I'm talking my time over here, kids. At 5:30, the Oscars started. So what I want to know is, how many of you watched the Oscars? And how many of you watched Fastlane? The WWE pay-per-view event. That's all. Sean, what did you watch yesterday? I bet you Sean watched neither.
Neither.
Yeah, I know. What did you?
You read my mind.
What did you watch like at 5 o'clock yesterday? What were you watching?
Oh boy, at 5 p.m. Oh, not much. I was just on YouTube listening to music and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, see, you know what? Yesterday at 5 p.m. for you would have been perfect. You could have watched the movie.
Oh yeah, because I didn't have a link until you got one now.
You didn't
That's
have
right.
nothing to do. You could have watched the movie.
Miracle, yeah, I could have watched it, but I wonder if it was on one of those movie channels.
No, well, listen, I just gave it to you. Don't be greedy now.
We'll be greedy.
I'm telling you, I know you. You're a history buff. You're a hockey buff. This movie is right up your alley. I know it is. I know it is. So back to my question, bitches.
Sure.
Which of you people, look, I know Josh watched Fastlane. Josh, let me ask you a question. Do you watch Fastlane on your computer or do you have it on your TV? Josh Lopez, a producer and program director of Sports World Radio. That's what I want to know. You have it on your computer or do you watch it on TV? Chicken and dumplings heating up? Is that what you're making for dinner? Chicken and dumplings? Oh, the cooking show is tomorrow. Or next Monday when Nicholas is back. TV through my Xbox. Ah. Okay, so
There you go. TV through the Xbox is a good idea, Josh. Well done, bud.
Chicken and dumplings. That sounds really good. Even though I hate chicken. You know what I'm making for dinner tonight? Since we're talking about food, and it's
Mhm.
Laura's fault because she started it.
What is that?
I'm making a seafood melody of seafood tonight. It has shrimp, it has octopus, it has calamari, it has mussels, it has scallops in it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cook it all in a butter garlic sauce.
Ooh, that sounds good
And
for
then
tonight's dinner.
And then
Yeah.
you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to make a big batch of pasta, and I'm going to dump that crap on the pasta, and we're going to have pasta and garlic sauce with all the fixings of the seafood. Yummy. That's right. I would make some broad a happy cook. But I'll tell you something. If I'm doing the cooking, she's doing the dishes. Because I ain't doing them.
Shabba said, missed the Oscars, watched old sci-fi movies on the TCM instead. Yum, dumplings.
Well, see, you know what, Shaba? You could have watched the Miracle movie if you had the link, you rat bastard. I said the same thing to Sean. I said the same exact thing to Sean.
I thought YouTube would have the full movie of Miracle, but now since you gave me that link, there you go.
No, you want to know something, Sean? I did too, and I went looking for it last night, and I was like, these son of a bitch wanted to charge you $2.99. They wanted to charge $2.99 to watch it. I was like, get the hell out of here. So I typed in Google, Miracle on Ice, free to watch online, or free Miracle on Ice on whatever the hell I typed. And that link came up. I said, holy crap, you're going to let me watch it online for free? Great. And I did.
Shabba goes, thanks for the link, though. You bet. We'll have
man.
to watch that. There you go.
It's an awesome freaking movie. Let me tell you people something, though, okay? Don't get mad at me if it starts putting ads on there like crazy, okay?
It does that on YouTube since I'm a YouTube user.
Okay, I'm going to explain. I'm going to tell all you people something, okay? Listen, this thing works. I love it. I have it on my computer. It's free. I never, ever, 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 never see a freaking ad. Ever. Okay? Go to Google. Okay? I want you to go to Google. Okay? And in Google, what I want you to type is, what the hell am I typing here? Ad Block Plus. Okay? And enter that, and it's the first one. Okay? And put it on your, if you use Chrome, put it on there. Put it on there. Put it right up in there in the top right there by your freaking URL bar there. And it'll stop every stinking ad from coming on your computer. I just got a new computer. You know what I did? You know what I did? I got a new computer. I got rid of Internet Explorer. I put Google Chrome on it, and the very first thing I did was I put the Ad Block Plus on it. I get no stinking ads. I never, ever see ads. Even when I go to my own websites that I own, and I know they have ads on them, I don't see them.
Shabba goes, you don't know what you're missing.
I don't want to see ads.
That's a good thing.
You know why? Why would you want to see ads when it just takes up all that time and could get a virus? Huh? Why? Put on the Ad Block Plus and you're done with it.
Josh, thank you very much. That's the next story I wanted to get to. 26 minutes after the hour I'm going to check that movie out. Josh says this, Jeff. What's your thoughts on the Pacquiao fight coming up in May of this year? I can't wait to see how that fight is and hear from Harold Letterman, because you mentioned during our staff meeting today about Harold Letterman coming on. I can't wait to see this fight.
Hey, Sean, with that message he says right there, what your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah.
How do you know which fight he's talking about?
He's talking about the Pacquiao fight.
I thought maybe he was talking about another fight.
I'm glad it's finally going through, Jeff, that finally Pacquiao is going to have this fight. Josh, you're going to get a big birthday present because what? It's May 2nd, right? That's coming up.
Yeah,
so there you go.
The fight's on May 2nd. When's his birthday?
Josh, isn't your birthday May 9th, May 7th? I think it's like the 7th or 9th.
He'll probably get the same birthday present he got last year. We know what that is, ain't it? Don't we?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. He'll get to see his teacher again.
So, Jeff, you finally happy? It's finally going through for this fight.
Only 5 years too late. May 7th is his birthday. Only 5 years too late.
Yep.
Right? You and I have been asking for this fight for 5 years, haven't we?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Sean did mention it. Okay? Sean did mention it, so I want to let everybody know. This fight is May 2nd, correct?
May 2nd, that's right.
May 1st or thereabouts, maybe the 30th, but right around there, either April 30th or May 1st, I will have HBO's very own, HBO's boxing judge, Harold Letterman, on the show to talk to us about this fight. So, what I want everybody to do is start getting your questions ready, because we're going to be asking him questions, and we're going to take questions from all you peeps out there listening to the show. So either April 30th or May 1st, HBO's own boxing judge, Harold Letterman, will be on the show with us to talk about this Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. You notice how I say Pacquiao-Mayweather? But everybody says Mayweather-Pacquiao? No, I say Pacquiao-Mayweather because I'm in Pacquiao's corner on this one. I can't stand Mayweather. I hope Pacquiao goes in there and knocks him out like the 5th round.
That'd
make
be a
me
good
very,
one. I'm just
very
so
happy.
glad that they finally got it to go through, because 5 years, good grief.
I know. You and I have been bitching and moaning for 5 years about this, right?
And Josh, I know for sure, has been like saying, finally, I get to see this fight.
Well, yeah. Josh has only been with us for a year or two. So
A year since he came March of last year along with Frank.
So Josh has been with us for almost a year already?
Yeah.
Holy freaking Toledo, man.
Him and Frank.
Well, who cares about Frank? Frank's only with us 1 day a week. Josh is with us 5 days a week.
Josh goes, I can't stand Mayweather.
I'm not a Mayweather fan either, Josh. I think I think he's a conceited son of a bitch. I think all he cares about is himself and money, and that's it. He's got no scruples. He wants everybody to do everything for him, and he don't want to do nothing.
And you can bet that the tickets finally for this fight are going to be completely sold out in Las Vegas.
It's a 60-40 split. He's making the 60. Pacquiao's making the 40. Pacquiao's coming out first. Pacquiao pretty much conceded to everything that Mayweather wanted, so he can get at Mayweather. Mayweather didn't concede crap. Mayweather says that he's the top dog in this whole thing. I hope you go down, top dog. I really, really do. I want to see you get knocked out.
We got a second commercial break.
We got to go second commercial break already, or second update already?
Second update, that's right.
Holy freaking Toledo, man. This show's flying by faster than I don't know what. But, man, it's going by quick. Hey, this update is brought to you by The Flipper. Now, listen. Are you tired of your kids or your husband even or your boyfriend even leaving the seat up when they go to the bathroom, and then you come in there to use the facilities and you got to touch the toilet seat to put it down so you can use the bathroom? Gross! Head on over to flipperflipper.com. Never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again. Get yourself a flipper at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the final update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 31 minutes after the hour, February 23rd, 2015. It is 7:31 East Coast, 4:31 p.m. on the West. Here we go. NFL. The big news, of course, Adrian Peterson has confirmed to the Minnesota Vikings he will not be back playing for Minnesota. He said he is parting ways. He is divorcing the Vikings and looking for other destinations and other places to play. There are no guarantees that RG3 of the Washington Redskins will be back as a Washington Redskin. Gary, wherever you're listening, that's kind of big news because you wonder if Colt McCoy will be the future for the Washington Redskins. MLB commissioner, the new one who took over Bud Selig, has decided that he is maybe thinking about a shorter season. Rob Manfred has come out and said to the public that MLB could consider doing 154 games, but that is just a rumor. I still think that's going to be very, very slight and very hard to get complete. Here's some games for tonight. NBA, you got the 76ers taking on the Heat, Bucks at the Bulls, Timberwolves at the Rockets, Raptors at the Pelicans, Nets at the Nuggets, Celtics at the Suns, Spurs at the Jazz, and lastly on NBA TV, it'll be the Grizzlies taking on the Clippers. In the NHL, of course, yesterday was a very special day and a wonderful day for America. It was the 35th anniversary of when the United States men's hockey team defeated the Russians 4-3 in an upset for what we would call the century, because there's been other big upsets in sports history over the years, but that one ranks as like number one, especially for the upsets of the century for sports, 20th century, 21st. NHL here, 2 games though. You got the Devils leading the Coyotes by a score of 1-0. First period, 5 minutes and 17 seconds. NHL Network, the Red Wings taking on the Ducks. In, of course, Major League Baseball, don't forget, going back to it real quickly, spring training coming up very, very shortly with all the games and stuff, and MLB season right around the corner. This update was brought to you by The Flipper at flipperflipper.com. When we come back from the commercial break, it'll be the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour. After this commercial, be right back.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West, and if you live in the Central?
If you live in the Central, just figure it out for yourself.
Figure it out for yourself.
Next
hey,
is
you know something?
the
Hold on a
Bayless
second.
Bash Hour
Hold on
in
a second,
36
Sean.
minutes.
Hold on a second. So
Sure.
Sean in the chat room writes to Shaba, and he goes, Shaba, you remember the fight of November 1996? Sean, you weren't even alive back then.
I studied it too. The boxing one, November of 1986, when Mike Tyson had this big fight. I'm sure you remember that, Jeff.
Who did he fight? Come on, history boy. Who did he fight?
Don't know.
Wasn't it Buster Douglas?
I think Tyson had a few short yet memorable fights in 86 and 87. Beat Burbick, Bloodgreen, and Thomas.
What was the year that he lost to Buster Douglas?
Yep.
Because that was crazy.
My memory of Mike Tyson that I remember as a big fight was like 97 or 98. He had a big fight with Evander Holyfield. Remember,
Yeah,
that's the one where he bit his ear.
Yeah, well, they were both old by then.
Yeah.
You know, it was over. They were both old by then. It was over with back by then, man. I mean, you should have seen Mike Tyson in his prime. Holy freaking Toledo, that man. Are you kidding me?
I remember that time that you had made me and POD and a bunch of other people watch Mike Tyson and his pigeon racing.
Yeah,
remember
remember
the pigeon
that?
show?
Okay, so I've been watching Mike Tyson almost my whole life. Okay, because where he used to train wasn't far from where I lived. When he got with Gus D'Amato, it wasn't far from where I lived, so I knew all about him. I knew all about him growing up. Yeah, you weren't even around in 86, 87. Jeez Louise, Batman.
I was born in March of 87, but it's good to do the research. Skippy Bayless, Fast Shower next. Here's what Skippy came out and said today. Skippy said that my New England Patriots are a better dynasty than the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, shut the hell up.
That's typical Skippy for you. That's typical Skippy. Skippy Bayless said that the fight is here, and he can't wait for the fight with Pacquiao and Mayweather on May 2nd.
See, he thinks Pacquiao's going to win, and Stephen A. thinks Mayweather's going to win. So there's a nice argument that's going to happen every day till the fight's over. That's kind of – I happen to I have to say it the other way. Skip Bayless happens to agree with me. I don't agree with anything he says. He happens to agree with me because I've been saying for years Pacquiao's going to kick his ass.
Yeah, that's a big debate, no question about it. Skippy said that my Dallas Cowboys should sign both Dez Bryant and Adrian Peterson.
They can't.
Skippy, you better just hope and pray that the Cowboys are the same like they were last year, and you better hope that Jason Garrett can survive 5 years with Jerry Jones.
He's not going to make it through the 5 years because he's going to not be in the playoffs, and he's going to get rid of him. And then Jerry Jones is going to do one of two things. Bring in a coach bring in a veteran coach or bring in a rookie coach. Those are the only two moves he's going to make.
Skippy loved the NBA All-Star Game and called it thoroughly entertaining.
It was disgusting. It was freaking disgusting. I'm an NBA
I take
fan.
It that you watched it, Jeff.
I'm a basketball fan. That All-Star Game was disgusting. It was gross to watch. It was terrible to watch.
Skippy Bayless said that Phil Jackson made a mistake going to the New York Knicks.
No, just sit back and watch and relax and chill out and wait, because in a couple of years from now, all you people are going to start giving him high praise. Sean, you hear all these people that are telling him that he doesn't know what he's doing right now and all this and all that, right?
Right.
After he gets through this year and starts doing what he wants to get done, in a couple of years, they'll make the playoffs. They'll go really far, and everybody's going to he's a genius. He knew he was going to do this all along. He's a genius. Wow, what a great plan. But now they're ripping him because they don't know what he's doing. Right?
Right.
So I got an idea, everybody. Shut up until he's done doing what he needs to get done. Then criticize him.
40 minutes after the hour, Skippy Bayless said that he doesn't mind having the Cavs in the NBA Finals.
I mind a lot because they don't deserve to be there. In fact, I mind so much that if they're in the finals, I probably won't watch.
Oh, I would just hate that because
I
it
can't
seems like
watch
the
him.
NBA just itches for LeBron to always be in the NBA Finals.
I can't watch him be in the finals for 3-4 years in a row. I can't do it. I just can't. I can't do it. Just because he's LeBron James, you got to hand him what he wants? The hell out of here. He's just like any other basketball player that plays in the NBA. What about all the other players that want to win a championship, for Christ's sakes? Well, you want LeBron in the finals because it's going to bring you more TV, more eyes? Tough noogies.
Skippy Bayless said that my Atlanta Hawks better not let me down.
Oh, my Atlanta Hawks.
So now all of a sudden they're his Atlanta Hawks?
Because they're playing really good basketball and they're better than Cleveland. Yes. All of a sudden they're hit. You know that. Come on.
But, of course, he's probably saying that he'll probably think that my Cavaliers will beat my Atlanta Hawks if they meet the NBA Eastern Conference Finals.
I said this weeks ago.
Yeah.
He goes where the winners are. That's all he does. He picks a winner and he jumps on that bandwagon. That's all he does.
Skippy Bayless said that my Boston Bruins impressed me last night. Since when do you know anything about Boston sports there, Skippy?
I'm going to let you have this one because it's a Boston Celtic. It's a Boston Bruin thing, so you can bitch and moan.
Skippy, why don't you just focus on the teams that you go for and leave Boston out of the picture?
All of a sudden they're his Boston Bruins?
Yeah, my Boston Bruins this, my Boston Bruins that. Give me a break.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it.
Skippy Bayless said that my Dallas Cowboys are the standard bearer of professional sports.
Oh, God.
The floor is yours, Jeff. What do you say? He says they're the standard bearer of professional sports, the Dallas Cowboys.
So you like your team to be losers in the last 20 years then, huh? Yeah,
well,
they're the standard, all right. They haven't won. They won one playoff game in 20 freaking years.
They are, what are they, 3 and 8 in the last 11 playoff games?
3 and 8 in the last 11 playoff. Yeah, that's a good standard you want to freaking copy, you jackass.
He probably has a mindset. He probably would think and say to you, he probably would say, yeah, but think about it this way. Look at the fact that this is the beginning of a winning tradition for the Cowboys since they won a playoff game and should have won and got screwed on the game against Green Bay.
Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah. I should have won I should have won
that my New York Knicks will lose all the rest of the games in their schedule.
No kidding, jackass. And they're not your New York Knicks, so shut the hell up.
Yep, the floor was yours. Skippy Bayless said that the Chicago Cubs will be the worst team in baseball this year.
I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that one bit. I believe they're going to be better than everybody thinks they're going to be. That's what I think. I think they're going to be better than everybody thinks they're going to be. I really do. They would have got James Shield, you bet your sweet ass, but they didn't. So, they got to deal with what they got to deal with.
Skippy Bayless said that my Miami Heat will make the playoffs without Chris Bosh.
I don't know about that.
It's a good question.
I don't know about that. I don't know the moves that they made the trade before the trade deadline even going to help them. You know? So we'll see. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens coming down the stretch now.
Skippy Bayless said, I love the dunk contest at the All-Star game.
Whatever, dude. Hey, you know what? When we come back from this break, I got an idea for the All-Star game. Let's get rid of the freaking dunk contest because it's boring, and I got an idea. We're going to run to
our three-point shootout?
Or a three-point. Oh, I got an idea. We're going to come right back. You're listening to Jeff Eskow, Shawn Mann on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us. And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Okay, so before we went to break, I said I got an idea for the All-Star game.
The dunk contest, right?
Well, I don't care. Stick it in there, remove something. Usually the dunk contest stinks. I didn't really watch it this year because it normally stinks. I didn't watch any of those events, actually. I just watched the All-Star game.
I don't know. It seems like it's been a long time since I last watched the three-point shootout or the slam dunk contest or the Schick rookie game.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I actually did watch the celebrity game.
Okay. All right.
But I didn't watch anything else, and then I watched the All-Star game. But here's a great idea. Okay? Take 4 famous old-timers that can still move a little bit. Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, and Larry Bird. And play a game of horse. You don't think the fans would love that? Take Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson and play a game of horse. What's the big deal? That would be fun, and I would watch that. Sean, would you watch that?
I would, yes, most certainly.
I would watch that. Sean would watch that. I bet you Josh would watch that.
Josh would, yes. Frank
Okay.
would watch that.
Sure.
Nicholas would watch.
Tons of people. Are you kidding me? That'd be freaking awesome. Or okay, you don't want to play 4, because it'll take too long. Then play teams. You alternate shots. That's all. It's the big freaking deal.
Skippy Bayless, 49 minutes after the hour, he came out and said that Charles Barkley should have been the MC for NBA All-Star Saturday night.
He's got you know what? When Charles Barkley was here earlier, I should have asked him if Skip Bayless has got a hard-on for him. Because he does.
You can tell he does.
Because he does. Doesn't he? He does, man. See, look, Shabbat likes that. The horse game, the game of horse between those guys. That would be exciting, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I would watch that. Are you kidding me? Or how about this? Okay, you don't want to play? How about play a game, 2-on-2 half-court basketball with those 4 guys? First team to 5 wins. How great would that be?
That'd be great.
I'd watch that, wouldn't you, Sean?
I would.
See?
How about this? Skippy Bayless, he came out and said that he should have won an Emmy or an Oscar award for his sports performance.
Who?
Skippy Bayless did. Skippy said he should have won an Emmy or an Oscar award.
For what?
For a sports performance. For his sports performance.
On what?
Don't know.
On Schmucks Are Us?
Probably because he says, I'm professional. I know my sports. I know how to win.
Well, obviously you're not professional because you put a freaking an offer out there. It says you're a better sports whatever the hell you are, and you take on any sports call. Well, I'm right here. I don't see you taking my challenge, you jackass.
I can't wait until summer of 2016, the Midsummer Classic, the All-Star Game, when First Take comes to San Diego.
Come hell or high water, man. Even if I have to cancel the shows for a week, come hell or high water, I'm getting at him. I am getting at him, come hell or high water. I'm just telling you.
Escow versus Bayless. The day has finally come when we see a debate between those two, and Stephen A. Smith can take a break and he can go tour San Diego.
That's right. Hey, Stephen A., I got this for the week. Take the week off. I got this. Go enjoy San Diego. I got this for the 2 hours. Don't worry. In fact, not only do I got this for the 2 hours, but I got him for another 2 hours on my show. Okay?
He probably would say, he goes, what is a sports world and what's this show all about that you do, Mr. Escow? I do First Take and I tell it like it is.
Well, no, you don't tell it like it is because you interject your your stupidity into it by putting the word my in front
There you
of
go. Hit
everything.
him with the word, quote, my.
That's right. By putting the word my in front of every team you talk about shows me that you are a true bandwagon fan, and it doesn't matter which team is in first place, they automatically become your team, and you put the word my in front of it. Therefore, I grew up a Knicks fan. I don't even put the word my in front of it. And I'm allowed to, and I don't do it. You know why? Because I don't own them. That's why. And neither do you, you jackass.
Did you hear Skippy Bayless? He said he doesn't like George Karl going to the Sacramento Kings.
I'm not a fan of it neither.
I would agree with that because I don't know what George Karl could do to turn the Sacramento Kings around like they were back when Vlade Divac and Jason Williams and Chris Webber played.
Why would you want to go to the West? Wouldn't you want to coach, if you're going to come back to basketball, wouldn't you want to coach in the East where the East stinks, where at least you'll have a chance of winning some games? Right?
George Karl, to me, he's like more of the Western Conference caliber. He's coached in the East. He coached the Milwaukee Bucks, and he took them the Eastern Conference Finals back in 2001.
Sean, he spent most of his career in the East. I mean, in the West.
That's right. He coached Golden State for a while. He coached Cleveland, and then, of course, his best years was when he was with the Seattle Sonics.
Well, he also coached Denver.
Yep.
So he spent most of his career in the West.
He's a good coach. I've always been a big George Karl fan.
I'm a big George Karl fan. I just don't like him going to Sacramento.
Skippy Bayless said that the Saints will finish last in the NFC South. Careful. Oh, Laura Shaba, what do you say about that?
I'm
and Kenny,
sure.
Don't forget, you're a Saints fan.
I'm sure Laura and Shaba like that a lot. I mean, after the year that they had, after the year that they just had, can it get any worse?
Oh.
Can it get any worse for them?
I'm not sure. I don't see it happening. I wouldn't necessarily say that the Saints be a last-place team. So, Skippy, you better be careful. You're addressing that as Saints fans, Skippy. Skippy Bayless said that Michael Jordan would lose to LeBron James in a playoff series.
Well, yeah, now. Michael Jordan's old. You bet your sweet ass he would. But
what about back in the era of the 90s, though?
No.
Different story.
No. Jordan would eat him up alive. You know why? Because it's different basketball back then. Okay? Now you can't even touch the guy. Okay? You touch the guy with your finger, you get a foul. Back then, you can basically if there was no blood, there was no foul. Okay? Jordan knows that. Jordan knows how to play like that. LeBron's got no clue on how to play that. LeBron would get eaten up alive if he played back then.
Skippy Bayless said that he is not impressed by the San Diego Padres' off-season moves.
You know what, Skippy? I'm not impressed by you putting out a challenge, and I know people for a fact have accepted your challenge, but you haven't accepted it. So what you do is not very good either. How about that, Skip? Huh? Huh, Skip? You've never been to San Diego, huh? I guarantee you when you get here and you walk around the stadium, you'll be like, wow, this is a really nice stadium. And you know what? I'm going to start a chant. Skippy, 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 you suck. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start that chant.
And how he said that San Diego's not a good place and not a good baseball town.
Yeah, okay, watch. We're going to start that chant, Skippy. Because guess what? In 2016, bitch, you're coming here for the All-Star game, and guess what's going to happen? I'm going to be all over you. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You're going to be all over him, and then
yes,
you're going to be...
am.
And then, of course, Jeff, you know the stadium really well because that's where First Take would be, is that they would do it right outside the stadium.
I'm going to carry a sign that says Sports World Radio accepts Skip's challenge. That's
I'm
what the
counting
sign's
days
going
and
to
months
say.
for that to happen.
I'm going to sit in the first row, and I'm going to say, I'm going to hold up the sign, and that's what it's going to say. Sports World Radio accepts Skip's challenge. And then when Carrie has Carrie's court, I'm going to get up there, and I'm going to say, my question is for Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless, I've heard you say that you challenge any sports host to come and challenge you, correct? Well, here I am. I accept your challenge. How come you haven't accepted back? You're here in San Diego. I live here. Let's do this. I could come right on this show and do it. But I know ESPN won't let it happen because they don't want you to get humiliated by a nobody. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get humiliated by me.
Skippy does San Diego.
Skippy's not going to do San Diego because after I'm done with him, he's going to want to leave. Because if I find out he's coming, I'm waiting. I find out he's coming, I'm waiting for him at the airport. I'm going to the airport with a big sign so we can see it. Sports World Radio accepts Skip's challenge. I accept that challenge. Anytime, any place, anywhere, Skippy.
Then I have a feeling that what he will do, he leaves out of San Diego. He doesn't appreciate how he gets treated, and then he'll say, now it's time I launch a protest to automatically kick Sports World Radio off the air and off the internet.
And you want to know something? Every time he says the word Sports World Radio, I'm going to say thank you.
Because it's going to bring more listeners out our way.
Exactly right. You know that as well as I do, Sean.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
And then you'll lose all the respect and the popularity of First Take.
Right, and then all those listeners he sent over here are going to understand that he's really a moron because I'll explain it to them the way I explain everything.
Yep.
Hey, listen, we ran out of time, but we will get to it tomorrow, I promise, Laura. We ran out of time today. Big news out here on the West Coast. Here, we're gonna leave you with this teaser. We'll get to it tomorrow, I promise. Raiders and Chargers sharing a stadium? Oh, my. On that note, we're getting out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about that. For Sean Mann, I'm Jeff Escow. This has been Sports World Radio. Remember, kids, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. Peace out. We will see you tomorrow. Later.
Goodbye.
Hey, boy, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?